The sun is out and our blockade is legal.
There's the blockade.
Join Robin, Sean, Andrew, and Jalen right now.
This is Admiral Radis of the Rebel Alliance. Call up the Brick City Blockade. AP5 has an idea.
Hey, and a good Wednesday evening here, folks. Welcome back to the Brick City Blockade podcast here live as we head into yet another new episode of the Acolyte. Day came out and it is now night, and we have some words to share.
It was hot as fuck today,
upcoming episode. I know. Tell me about it. Speaking of people who are going to be talking about the Acolyte here on the podcast, Mr. Commander Nerd himself, Mr. Andrew. That's okay. That's fine. She's got things to figure out before hopping on. Mr. Commander Nerd himself, how are you doing this evening?
I'm hot, but I'm ready to talk some Acolyte.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an absolute scorcher across the Northeast today, for sure. Mr. Sean Michaud, how's it going this evening? Good to see you.
Hot as well. Trying to keep cool in the school basement right now. Other than that, I'm excited to talk this episode. We're halfway through the season, I guess.
Yeah, this kind of is that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, at least we have House of the Dragon to hold us over.
No, this is true. And
there's still nothing on Skeleton Crew, so I think that's just gone in the wind now.
It's a very good point. Of course, also we have on this episode a very special guest. Mr. Gonzo himself has returned to the Brick City Blockade. Good to see you, my friend.
Hello.
Ready to talk some Acolyte?
See.
That's always a great answer. And of course, she's not on the camera right now. She's muted. However, my lovely, beautiful fiance, Miss Shaylin Frost, will be joining us to talk about the Acolyte as well. But first, we want to... Oh, there she is. Hey, Shaylin.
She heard Acolyte.
She heard Acolyte. She was like, here we go.
I was trying to get my computer to an appropriate height, and I knocked my beverage cup over, and it opened and spilled ice water all over the place. So I had to clean that up.
So excited
Way to go,
about the Acolyte.
Sorry.
What did I do?
Well, no.
did.
It was mostly empty anyways. Whatever.
Just like Robin.
Okay. Let's get down to business here. Let's get down to the brass tacks. Before we get into anything, I just want to, number one, say we are here to support Wikipedia this evening. Everything that went down across social media. We're not going to get as heated about it here, but all of y'all out there in the Star Wars fandom, you can use the hashtag We Support Wikipedia. I stand with Wikipedia across Twitter, across social media. We've seen this continued on and on again, that certain parts of the fandom like to think they know everything and like to take direct action to try to show what is that power that they think they have, right, at the end of the day. Shaylin, I want to throw it over to you because so many of us here have been part of this fandom for so long, but you have lived experience of using Wikipedia to enter the fandom. So hearing this must have been absolutely like, wow.
Yeah, it was shocking. So for a little bit of context for anybody who's not really familiar with my background in Star Wars, I really was only a fan of the original trilogy and the sequels until I started dating Robin, until I started being friends with Robin. So I liked the films. I watched them. I was a big fan of Anakin in the prequels, as we know. I watched the sequels when they came out in the movie theaters, but only probably once as opposed to you all watching them a dozen times a piece. So when I first started getting into more of the lore and learning that there was more to Star Wars than what we see on the movie screen in the feature films, with the novels and the graphic novels and the TV shows and all of that, Wikipedia really helped me piece together timelines and character names and relationships and like the battles they fought in and the people that they knew and the people that they worked with. And it was really enlightening, and I used it a lot because it's hard to, as a casual fan, and as not for nothing, as a as a woman to jump into this fandom and to be like, I like this stuff too, and not get called out every second because I have a shit memory and can't remember, the names of the films. And so I refer to them as the episode numbers. So not having my knowledge double checked on me all the time and being able to say, no, I looked that up. I know that that's what that is. Like I can draw that parallel. I can make that connection because I have this resource. Was really beneficial to me. And to know that somebody has gone above and beyond to defile that is incredibly discouraging. It's incredibly discouraging as a fan. It's incredibly discouraging as a female fan. It's incredibly discouraging as this is something that was like a passion project. And you're going to go in there and you're going to dismantle it in the name of being right or in the name of being pissed off about something that the creator of this resource had no say in. That's absurd and shallow, and I don't stand by it, and nobody should. So that's all.
Yeah. It's important. Yeah.
It's parts of the fandom that makes me ashamed to be a Star Wars fan. Because back in the day, it wasn't cool to be a Star Wars fan. You kind of had to be like, yeah, I like Star Wars, but you kind of kept quiet about it because it was nerdy or not cool to talk about. Now, when Force Awakens came out, everything like that, it's cool to talk about it. But then that just ignites the worst part of the fandom. Because I was a prequel fan growing up, and I was, quote unquote, wrong for liking the prequels. Now everyone loves the prequels because they didn't like the sequel trilogy. And then when another trilogy comes out, everyone's going to love the sequels, and then it's just going to repeat itself. It's a cycle. It's like poetry. It rhymes. But I don't exactly know what happened with Wikipedia. But knowing it's from a certain YouTuber that has
subset of the fandom, we can say.
Yeah, who has a huge following and is a known grifter. I just hate the fandom sometimes. A lot more than I want to admit. But in my perspective, if you just like the movies, the comic books, video games, as long as you just like Star Wars, you're a fan. It doesn't matter if you know everything from the Old Republic to 20,000 years before everything that we know. As long as you enjoy Star Wars, you're a fan. Just if it's just the movies, TV shows, whatever, you're a fan in my book. No one should be able to discredit your fandom.
Yeah.
It's basically like the Marvel universe as well. Some people like Miss Marvel. They're wrong, but you shouldn't feel discouraged to be excited to talk about the stuff that you enjoy. And it's getting to the point where, one, I get frustrated, and then I don't want to talk about it because then we get all the dumb BS with like, oh, you're wrong. Like, I remember when people could have their own opinions about stuff and we just leave it at that.
Yep.
But the fandom has gotten so toxic that it's just a cesspool of hate, and it just makes me very sad.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I think it's much like easier to talk to Star Wars fans if you're like in person. You don't see that like in person a lot. You don't see people like going at Comic-Con just yelling at each other and saying, oh, that.
Right.
But it's all people on the phones, on the computers.
It's because they can hide behind the screen.
They're all insecure about it. And
that's the worst thing about social media.
Anyway,
everyone can hide behind the screen.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
with the one,
we stand with Wikipedia, and
Mhm.
we're hoping they can work to get everything back the way it should be. And in the meantime, let's just give them some grace, and they'll get it
Mhm.
sorted eventually. And we stand with them.
yeah, it's a very important time that we get behind Wikipedia. And number one thing too is just, the fandom has responded, and we have to give massive applause and support to our brothers and sisters in the Force throughout the podcasting community and throughout the Star Wars fandom itself. Bravo, and thanks for hopping behind it and making sure that we can continue to support like that. But as Laren says here, Robin, Sean, Shaylin, Gonzo, Andrew, good evening. Let's talk the Wars of Stars. Yes, let's dig deep into the goodness that was episode 4 of
But the stars
Acolyte.
don't fight each other.
Yeah, I know. It's the science of Star Wars, right? They can't do that. Gonzo, let's start with you. Episode 4 of the Acolyte
hot seat.
series. Right here. Tell us your thoughts on this latest episode of the Acolyte.
This guy.
That guy over there, yeah.
Based on what he said in the prequel movies, didn't add up. So, get what I'm saying, right?
Yes. Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Like the second I saw him, I'm like, uh-oh. But no,
listen to him.
That aside, I liked it. Towards the end, though, we saw everybody's saber.
Yeah.
And from the get-go, we've been talking about it, Andrew, how Khmer is basically hiding in plain sight. So it definitely could still be that. And whether it's he got out of that trap that May set up, or he notified the actual master. So we just don't know. But everything he was doing in just that episode alone, never mind the previous ones, he was shady as all hell, trying to cover his tracks, trying to like he knew stuff that May didn't even ask about. Like, it's just strange.
Right.
Wish we saw a bit more of Kelnacca.
I know.
Yeah.
But
We'll have a flashback.
yeah. And can we just get rid of Yord?
Oh, now wait a second here.
That's
Gonzo is not a
don't
member
like
of the
that.
Yord Horde. Gonzo is not a member of the Yord Horde.
No, he is not.
If he could just stay silent, like
Oh, Gonzo!
all he
Jeez.
did,
Brutal.
he sees the blaster that Osha has, and he's like, "That's Jedi Order property. Hand it over." Come on, dude. Cut it out.
Well, like I said from the beginning, he's a freaking cop. Like,
Yeah.
he's,
Yeah.
he's a rules
He needs to
guy
stop.
to the end.
And then he was probably trying to get people to chuckle with we need a tracker for our tracker. Like,
Yeah, no. This is a beauty deal.
okay, he's trying.
The comment
He's a dork.
says, "Wait, let Gonzo cook. Keep cooking, keep cooking."
Let Gonzo cook. I
Well,
love it.
that's a good chunk of it. I have some more, but I'll. The floor is yours.
Yeah, go for it, Andrew. What are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed the episode. Still going to complain about the length of it. Should have been longer, but I am greedy.
Indeed.
It moved fast. It didn't feel like 30 minutes. It felt like 15.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts on the actual Darth teeth.
I love that mask. I want
Who
that
might
mask.
be under the mask.
Darth
I'll get
Teeth,
into that in a little bit. But I like the planet we went to. Unfortunately, the forget the race, but the one that looks like Plo Koon is not Plo Koon, is a different character,
Yes.
which makes me disappointed. But if he dies, then it's okay. but
Caldorian.
I don't like
Well,
I
yeah,
don't like
because-
that
Close
Mr.
to and dies in
Dickhead
War
on the
60.
side of Gonzo, giving him the side eye. But also, did you notice when Soul
Okay, can
was
somebody
talking?
explain to me? This is my question. Sorry, Andrew. This
No,
is my
you're good.
question. Can somebody explain to me why it's a problem? Because I don't understand why it's a problem in here, but a
Because
lot of people have a problem with it.
A lot of people
because
have
in
a problem with
episode 1 he goes, the Sith. It's impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium. 1, they don't know it's a Sith that they're going after. 2, it could have just been a fallen Jedi because they do know. They
In
do
episode 1,
teach-
like the film episode 1?
Phantom Menace.
yeah,
it. Phantom Menace, yes.
Yeah, okay.
because when Qui-Gon's like, I believe it's a Sith Lord. Kiadi Mooney's like, nah, it's not a Sith Lord. You're dumb.
Well, maybe
Um,
he doesn't know that this is a Sith
yeah,
in this
And-
storyline.
yeah, and he
They
does.
They could have played that really, really close
He's
to the
probably
chest in terms of-
not going to interact with the Sith anyway. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but when Soul was, I think, talking to Osha, you could kind of see
Mhm.
Kiadi Mooney and the other Jedi like kind of trying to eavesdrop
Yeah,
into
they
what they
were.
were talking about.
Mhm.
They absolutely were.
But I do like them basically being like, let's keep this under wraps. We don't need the High Council to know because then it will get political and it'll all get out there and
Can't
and
have that.
all that stuff. And it's like, this is where we get to come the Clone Wars.
That's right.
And yeah, Soul again, amazing throughout the entire episode. I really liked Jackie's performance in this episode.
yes,
Yeah.
Jackie
I
was
really
fantastic.
liked her interaction with Osha,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna be sad if it's gonna be a very dark episode next week.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Shaylin, your thoughts?
My initial thought after the episode ended, you jumped up and screamed.
Yes, I did.
He screamed so loud, I was worried that the neighbors were gonna call a wellness check. Like he was just like, no, oh my god, no. Which was fun. Like I enjoy it when that happens. It's either that or he cries at the end of the movie. Yeah, so those are the two
Rip.
options.
No. Well, yeah, I do cry. I do
Okay,
cry.
anybody who knows Robin knows that he cries during Star Wars.
I'm a crier.
That's like-
Yes.
I'm a crier.
yeah.
Oh, I know. I was at
we-
Rise of Skywalker when
yeah.
it came out, and he was bawling like a baby. When,
We
well, it
witnessed
was
again
when
at
Leia
Phantom Menace,
died,
so-
but
The Phantom
But
Menace
you
stream.
said that it was your favorite episode so far, and my
Hmm.
knee-jerk reaction was to disagree with you. I really liked the episode of Osha and May as children. I really liked episode 3. I do think that episode 3 has been the best episode thus far.
Shannon,
That
I'm
does
gonna have
not
to
mean
agree
that I
with you.
did not like. Thank you, Sean. That does not mean that I did not like this episode. It was a very good episode. You're right. I think that that character is shady as heck. I think he's a little too goofy to be a Sith, but maybe that's like playing into it. Maybe that's part of his disguise. I don't know. We'll see. I'm a big fan of that actor anyway.
Blake Bortles.
But yeah, he knew too much and he kind of wasn't good at hiding it. So if anything, I don't think he's the master because I think that the master would have been better at kind of leading her in a direction and teaching her how to do these things herself and would have been better at hiding what they know.
Right.
But he knows too much.
Mhm. If he's not the master, he's the apprentice.
Oh, he's a puppet of some sort. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I enjoyed and wasn't expecting May to turn around that quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That actually, for me, that was a very pleasant surprise
Mhm.
that she can go from all of this rage and torment and like, I have to kill all of these Jedi and whatever to like, oh crap, my sister's alive. None of this matters anymore. I thought that was very interesting. And some people might not like how quickly she changed on a dime, but I enjoyed it. I thought it made a lot of sense for her.
Mhm.
Given the background that we learned in episode 3.
The same with Osha's too. She didn't want to go see May again, and then
Yeah,
So-
she was
so
like, I don't
convinced
want
her.
to.
Right.
Well, I understand why, because she was worried that May was gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So why would she want to go find a sister who isn't who she remembers and has become something that she can't, like Padme says, you're choosing a path I cannot follow. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was her just kind of protecting herself from that. No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It gave us a lot of information. It left us on a very excellent, very well done cliffhanger.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, did it. Oh, boy,
But
did it.
episode 3 is still my favorite so far.
Mr. Sean Misha, how about yourself?
I'm agreeing with Shaylin. It was not as good as episode 3. It was a little wonky at times, but like I really loved seeing the Acolyte coming down. It was one of the best shots in the episode. Him
Yeah, it was very
floating down.
Yeah.
It was like very doing the
It
focus
reminded-
blur.
sorry.
So, go ahead.
It kind of reminded me of that one scene in Harry Potter
That definitely
With
was.
Voldemort.
Oh,
with Voldemort in the forest, with Quirrell
Yes.
in the forest in Sorcerer's Stone. Sorry,
Mhm.
I just,
No, that's
it's
fine.
all like the focusing. You're focusing on her, and then you see him come down.
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
her. It's just, yeah.
It was amazing.
You see May looking through and note like that, like the whole last 15 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, having May going into the what's the name again?
Kelnacca?
Kelnacca's
R.I.P. Kelnacca.
house, if you want to call
He
it.
was just making some soup.
And seeing her when she saw the blade marks,
Oh, blade
she's
mark.
like, oh, she's like, oh shit, he's back.
Yeah.
And I did catch.
And I like that it went dark when she said he's here.
That was cool.
The
Yeah.
sun was setting. They were chasing the sun the whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did notice that. I was going to kind of go into my theory a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Having her, or I saw on Twitter that people saying that Kelnacca had all the stuff from the witches thing.
Yeah, I did
Yes.
see that too.
And that kind of goes with my theory. I still think
He was.
the witches kind of are like the whole mastermind puppet thing. I think so. I don't think it's the mothers.
Oh.
That's right. That's my theory. I think it's all them. I mean, we kind of saw them in the third episode of her,
Yeah.
kind of her controlling.
I interpreted.
Yeah.
That's how I interpret it.
I interpreted a little bit more as Kelnacca checking his allegiances and checking his faith and doing his own research, because the Jedi take children as soon as they display force sensitive qualities, which means that they can't form attachments and they can't form memories of their families. So they don't know any different from what the Jedi Order tells them. So Kelnacca goes his whole life believing everything the Jedi Order tells them. They find these two girls on this planet living with their family, which he never got to have, living with their family, learning the Force in a different way than he did. And he never even knew that was possible. So he has all of that witches stuff, and he's been like writing on the walls all of these symbols. And to me, it looked like a yin yang symbol, which is a symbol of balance. And it was just all over, and it morphed into, on the wall, it morphed into the symbol that is inscribed on May's forehead. And that's kind of how I interpreted that. Like, he was like, hang on a second. What really happened here, and what did I do wrong? What did we do wrong? I think if he had gotten a chance to interact with May, he would have spoken to her about it. I think he would have been like, I think we fucked up.
No, you used your card. That's a good one.
So that's how I interpreted that anyway. I thought it was really interesting to see kind of his scribblings on the wall. It made me think that he was really drilling down on something and coming to a conclusion. It feels like when you see a character writing stuff repeatedly on walls, it's a very clear sign of intensity. Sometimes it's a sign of madness, but mostly it's a sign of like, I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to know what this is, or I know what this is. I need to get it out of me somehow. You know what I mean? So it makes sense to me that he was dead when she got there, so he didn't have an opportunity to talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let me start here. Number one, yes, I absolutely freaked out at the end of this episode because I said, "God damn it, Leslye!" I was like, "You had to leave us on that mark," and it's so typical in the best way possible of what Disney Star Wars has done, what every series from the Disney Plus Star Wars universe at this point has done, which is figuring a way to keep you hanging on the edge of your seat, waiting for the next episode.
I
This
mean,
one, yeah,
look
go
at
ahead.
episode 4. That's the episode where
Yeah.
you see Anakin at the end.
Yes, this has historically been, Leslye has done a wonderful job, and I think I said this last week, of encompassing the format and the platforms that each series has done with episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have that flashback in 3, and then in 4, we leave you on a cliffhanger, waiting for the next episode, wondering if your theories and if your questions will be answered.
Then everyone's going to get mad because their theories didn't come true.
Anything we say here, anything we say, maybe other than a couple of things, you have to go into it knowing Leslye, Dave, the entire Lucasfilm team has something completely different up their sleeve.
But Dave doesn't know how to tell stories.
I know. This is what people are saying, right? Kamir as the Acolyte, the Sith, I think is a really cool theory. There are a bunch of pictures surfacing that he's carrying his bag, perfect helmet shape, could absolutely fit out the entire costume and whatever else.
And who's to say that he was actually trapped? He could have easily gotten out of that trap.
It's the manipulation, right? That at the end of the day here, I am almost, this is just personally, I am almost 99.9% sure that this character is the ultimate piece of a larger plan, is being pulled by the strings by either a Darth Plagueis or by some other Sith at this time.
So I'll get into who I think it could possibly be. I forget her name, but because we don't see her body in the flashback, the Zabrak mother of
Yes, I know who you're speaking of. Yes,
she could be the master, the one in the mask.
That'd be interesting.
And that's why she wants May to fight without a weapon to prove herself and everything like that. And she was pretty pissed when the Jedi came to take Osha and May. And I think what happened is they basically the Jedi were probably like, we're not taking just Osha, we're taking May too.
Yeah.
And because in one of the previews, Kelnacca's eyes were black from when the witches took control over Torben's mind.
Yes, correct.
So his eyes are black.
Right. I want to get back to Kelnacca because I agree we didn't get enough of Kelnacca. We didn't, really break down Kelnacca's background. What happened in between all of that time? Like Shaylin was saying, all the writings on the wall, all the research, all of the repetition that was shown. I think that there is so much more there that's going to be answered in this next episode because we still haven't seen that clip where Kelnacca goes after Torben, which is exactly what that's
just
showing.
like a 50-foot jump in the air.
Yeah, exactly. But there must be more to that Torben was going to do something. Kelnacca stopped it. And then suddenly, the witches are gone, whatever else. Kelnacca's trying to puzzle things together and figure out exactly what's going on here. It's that research aspect. It's a little bit of that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where you get everything pinned up on the boards. You're trying to connect spots, right? That's exactly what Kelnacca was doing. And I've seen fantastic memes online of people putting Kelnacca's head on the character from It's Always from that
just remember all three of the 4 Jedi are dead. So we have Soul. Right. So it's going to be very interesting coming up. And I think Soul is going to do something like not turn himself.
But remember
he's going to do something.
No, but remember what Soul said.
Yeah, I said in the episode when we were watching the episode, Soul said to Osha,
yes,
when we're done with this, I'm going to tell you everything. We're going to go back to we're going to go back to the ship. We're going to talk about everything.
Yeah.
And I said that's a red flag
It's a huge red
Because
flag.
as soon as a character says, "Don't worry, after this battle, I'll tell you everything," they
I
don't
mean,
stick around that battle.
I don't want to make the comparison, but look at Game of Thrones. Ned Stark, the last time he talked to Jon Snow, he said, the next time we see
It's the
each
same
other,
thing.
we'll
Yeah.
talk
It's a
about your
literary
mother.
trope. It works for a reason, but it works,
Yeah.
and we can see straight through it. So
Yeah.
You're hopping off the Soul Train. I can't believe you.
He's going to make it too...
my TV just started.
What's
I'm
truly
sorry.
Irish?
What?
Something
No,
truly
it was-
Irish.
I don't think
It was
Soul's
the-
truly Irish.
No.
No, it was a Chewy ad on the television.
Chewy.
Chewy at hey, look at that
But
Wikipedia. Hey, there you
sorry.
But
go.
what's going to happen? Soul's going to get stabbed. He's going to
No,
get
you
back to the
can't.
ship,
do
tell
that.
Osho the story, and then die.
Oh. Well,
He's
I guess
part of
then,
this.
If that's the case, the soul survivor.
Is there a
doesn't play out.
methodology in the Force for transferring memories?
There
Like,
used
can
to,
somebody transfer their memory to somebody else?
There used to be,
I think
but
it's
that's
deep
more
in,
legends.
more
There
legends,
hasn't really been
yeah.
anything yet. But knowing
Okay,
that
because
Leslye pulls a lot
barring
from
him-
legends.
Barring him surviving, he could like astral project his memories to
Yeah.
Osha or something. I
That'd
don't
be
know.
cool. I would like that. That'd be quite cool. If there's one takeaway, however, folks, from this episode that I really
Red
enjoyed-
lightsaber.
red lightsaber,
Red lights.
red lightsaber.
When
Yes,
that
of course.
lightsaber lit up, I was really worried it went straight through Osha
I
Yeah,
did too.
I know.
for a second.
Okay, we still haven't seen the whip yet.
No, I think that's.
No.
I think there's something more to that. I think that's coming up down the road.
Well,
here.
when we see the preview, she's in those woods. So,
Yes.
whatever
who's-
happens,
Stuff
who's
goes-
using
yeah.
that?
I don't think they're leaving that woods for a couple episodes, to
No.
be honest.
no, we're there.
what do you think, Gonzo? What do you think's going to happen? I want to hear your theories.
On what?
Everything.
Life.
Life, who's the acolyte or the master, and just what do you think is going to happen in the next episode?
I like.
And
What?
who do you think is going to be the first Jedi to die?
That's a rough one.
One of the other schmucks.
Yeah, a red shirt, obviously.
What are
Mr.
the other?
Rando. If you don't know their name, then they're expendable, right?
Exactly,
That's how
yeah.
it works.
It's such a Boston way
I was
to
gonna,
answer.
listen, we are a New England Star Wars podcast, so calling them schmucks is right up the alley. I love
It's
it.
got to be Yord.
No, it can't. No, we
It
can't
should be-
do
it
that.
should be.
Sword Horde.
And then Yord's going to be like, Osha, I love you. And then he dies.
No, we can't. No, we can't do that.
Why not?
Can we
I guess
also-
we could.
We've got to talk about the little that guy, the translator guy.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
He's-
Babe,
He was
Basil.
not a
I
translator,
love-
he was a tracker.
Tracker
was a
translator.
tracker.
Sorry.
And he was adorable.
Tracker
That's
translator.
fantastic.
That's what I meant.
Is Basil
Basil.
the Acolyte? Do we know
Yep.
that for a fact?
Well,
He's
we
the
didn't,
acolyte.
we didn't see him after
He's
in
the-
Kelnacca's
No.
bunker.
Because
there.
he's 3 feet tall.
He could be on stilts.
He could.
He could double in size.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
Yes, correct.
This is
Whoa.
a family-friendly program.
Sorry,
so
I meant
shut
draw.
your mouth.
Whoa.
Anyway,
That's not how the
That's-
Force works, Sean.
Shut up.
Gonzo.
Don't tell me how the
Yezo.
Yezo. As we're heading into episode 5 of The Acolyte, is there anything specifically that you would like to see play out? Would you like to see, like, in terms of we're going to get a lightsaber battle for sure at different parts. What are you looking forward to most with that?
So definitely some saber action. I do want to see May's next action because
Yeah.
with her being in Kelnacca's building, kind of just watching everything go down. I wonder if she's gonna step in,
Mm.
possibly, or if she still turns herself in or not. Don't know.
I mean, if they're all dead, there's no one to turn herself into.
Correct.
It's true. Except
That's
for the
right.
master again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And to what you guys said with Soul saying to Osha that once everything's done, he'll say. So I kind of lit up when I heard that because oh, she's finally gonna get some answers, or something bad's gonna happen. So
Right.
whether that be to Soul, to Osha, like nothing's really like it's gonna
I
happen
didn't even
with
think
either
about
of them.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
What was that?
They could surprise us all and kill Osha up.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
And
one.
I mean,
then
that would be a
that's
very
what-
good way to get May to turn to the dark side.
Yeah,
I didn't even
because
think
that
about it.
could be the final, like,
Remember, we do have a season
Also,
2
has
of the-
anybody else solved the riddle of killing without a weapon? Because it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure
no,
that out.
honestly, I still haven't figured that part out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mystery
What did
across
Vader
the
do
board.
every single day?
Force choke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep. So there's
Gotta
more
use
to it.
pure rage to kill somebody with the Force.
Yep. Yep. There's more to that we don't know. just
Rage
yet.
or hate or fear, whatever the dark side emotions are. But
That's right.
I would say we really didn't see May rage as much except when she was a child, though.
No,
no,
well,
yeah, it's like
she didn't really rage with Indara with their fight.
No. And also, Osha suddenly saying, I feel in tune again.
Yeah.
Right? That was huge for this, for where we are right now. Because as we are heading towards a major battle here, is Osha going to pick up a saber of a fallen Jedi?
Or is her and May going to pick up saber?
Because Jackie gets 2 sabers at one point here in these upcoming shots.
Then she gets stabbed. Hopefully not, but you know.
But you know what I'm saying here? If Osha sees Jackie go down, suddenly it's like, I'm going to use my
because
term,
they've already
shit's real.
formed that friendship.
Yes, because they had that whole conversation. I was so worried when we got the shot on Coruscant of them talking, saying when they come back, they're going to go to a cantina and that they're going to talk through. I'm like, oh no, oh boy, we're going to lose Jackie, and that would be devastating.
Yeah,
we could lose both. So.
Yord wants nothing for Osha to go back to the Jedi Order on he doesn't want her to go back at all. Like that little piece that he said he said that May has always been her wound. So basically her weak point that pulled her back basically from proceeding in her training.
Right.
I also realized Osha's the only one that shot May. May hasn't shot anyone. So.
Oh, she's the only one that's
but
actually
Osha
taken
missed.
Yeah. No, I know, but still, she attacked and made.
She missed on purpose, though.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she still attacked though.
I guess.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
I guess.
It's a definitely interesting thought.
But the other thing I liked is when they were going through the trees, there was those weird bug creatures wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Osha said that she could feel like what they were feeling and everything.
Right.
And I liked that we finally saw Soul take out his lightsaber and be a badass.
Just to squash that bug.
The other thing that I liked, every Star Wars media has, whenever there's a Sith, the Jedi always has to be like, I feel cold. Or when Kanan and Ezra fight Vader, Kanan had to be like, the cold. I like that Soul said nothing and just turned around and saw the Sith.
Yeah. His reactions. Reactions in moments throughout this series
I feel like
really told
Jackie,
the story on their own.
Noticed first, I think. I saw her notice first, then Soul.
I think it was Soul. Was it Soul? And then Jackie said, "What is that?"
And Jackie said, "What is that?"
Well, maybe it was just the way the camera was placed because I feel like she was in the middle.
but I loved the sound of the red lightsaber.
Oh, so good. Yeah, that's what got me.
Mhm.
That's exactly what got
And
me.
I liked that Soul
Force
was the
push.
first one to ignite his saber when the Sith was like right in front of Osha. I like
That's
that
right.
he was the first one to take out his weapon, and what a fucking force push!
Yeah,
The-
that's what we were just
Yeah, literally.
push him right. I mean, there's a lot of power there, right?
Yeah,
That's exactly why I have a feeling that the Sith that we are dealing with here is not the master whatsoever.
Yeah.
That is something that is taught. That is something that is practiced. Like, I'm sure it's even more powerful than that. What the Acolyte was taught. You know what I mean? That was just trying something out to see if it would work in many ways.
Also,
It
it's gonna
just
be-
felt like that.
It's also going to be interesting how the Acolyte, or what is a Sith, what do you want to call him? That now he probably notices May's turning.
yeah.
Right.
So,
Senses that, right?
yeah, senses that, and like he's literally like more than 20 feet away from her,
Yeah.
which is interesting. So
Very interesting stuff across the board here, especially when it comes to everything surrounding episode 4 here of the Acolyte. As we head into that halfway mark, a day really did everything it should, leaving us on a cliffhanger. I do agree. I wish it was a little bit longer. I get why they
Like
cut
I
it off
said,
where it
House
did,
of the
but
Dragon first episode was an hour.
Yeah,
Just say
Yeah.
we could have had an hour for this episode.
it's a beautiful time to be a Star Wars fan based on what Leslye Headland has been giving us here throughout these first.
But she doesn't
4 episodes.
understand Star Wars.
Oh,
Star
you know.
Wars is dead.
And by the way, for all the Kiadi Mundi haters out there and the folks that are saying, "Oh, I wasn't born at that time. Oh, I wasn't this. He wasn't that." Andrew, you gonna say something? Because
I mean, Kiadi Mundi is just a dickhead. So
no, I know, but listen, as it says
he's
below,
our favorite dickhead.
but see, he's very special to us in this way, right?
mm,
Because this episode is also a Kiadi party. Yeah, we love Kiadi. We love Kiadi here on the Brick City Blockade podcast.
Knew that was
It's
coming.
always a Kiadi party here at the podcast. Andrew absolutely loves that video. Maybe I should do it one more time for the fans. As for all you fans out there, it's always a Kiadi party, especially as we move forward here with the Acolyte. Andrew, why so sad? What's the face?
I hate you.
And
Wait, hold on. I hate you.
as
As Anakin, I would
we
say.
put a bow here on the Brick City Blockade podcast, the Acolyte review. It's that time of the show, a little thing that we like to call plug time here at the Brick City Blockade, where you get to find out where you can follow us across social media. Let's start over. Gonzo, you can't do that because now we're going to go to you. Where can the good people find you across social media?
His finger disappeared.
You can't do that, Gonzo.
It's magic.
Gonzo brand, Instagram, all of the things. Yes. Okay. Go.
Awesome. Commander Nerd, Andrew Garris, where can the good people find you across social media?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Commander Nerd, Instagram Intro62592, YouTube Commander Nerd. Be on the lookout for mine and Gonzo's podcast, Nerd Cave, which is going to be on my channel. More info to come, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm still pissed we have to wait a week for episode 5 of Acolyte, but it comes out on my birthday, so
Yeah.
Happy
I'll
birthday.
accept it as a birthday gift.
Happy
from
birthday to
To
you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday,
to
dear
you.
Commander Nerd.
Happy birthday
to
to you.
Was that the worst happy birthday song you've ever received?
No, my mom got them to sing "Happy Birthday" to me at Olive Garden, and I hated it.
Oh.
That's gross.
Did they have Olive in Friends? Like the characters come out at all? or-
No,
Ew.
luckily, no one was really in the restaurant at the time, so it was okay. But still, I wanted to die.
Okay,
Texas
we're going to all
Roadhouse
go
is
to favorite birthday.
Hmm?
We're going to go all over to favorite birthday, okay?
I mean, I'll be fine with that because Olive Garden is great. You have them sing to me, then we'll have an issue.
When the moon hits your Shaylin, where can the good people find you across social media?
I'm on the other side of your screen, my love.
I know, but if I do this, it will show up the other way in the final.
No, it won't.
Yes,
No,
it will.
No, it won't.
No, it won't.
Shaylin, where can the good people find you across social media?
Most of my social media are private for reasons, but
Yes.
I hang out on the Real Fandom Talk accounts sometimes. So if you want to slide in the DMs there,
What? What?
Pedro Pascal, if you're listening.
Right.
Hayden Christensen, please.
Hayden Christensen, if you're listening.
Anyone who has ever played Anakin Skywalker. Wait, no, I take that back. Not the kid.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's
Sean
pretty
Mi-
messed up.
Sean Misha, where can the good? Let's move away from that. Sean Misha.
Anyway, but you guys can follow me on Twitter, Sean Michaud
On
1.
Michelle
Instagram,
1.
Sean Michaud.
You can follow me on Michelle 1.
Instagram at Zone Z and Facebook.
Fantastic. You guys can follow the Real Fandom Talk, Brick City Blockade podcast. Go out booing it over on Twitter at Real Fandom Talk, on Instagram at Real Fandom Talk. Of course, here on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure to
Well, where
subscribe
can
for more
people
podcasts.
find you, Robin?
Well, good people can find me. No, because I know what's going to happen. You guys can follow me over on Twitter at X_RobinWVote. And of course, make sure to follow me over on Instagram at IG_RobinW.
I guess Robin.
I guess Robin. Yeah, sure. That's
guess.
how it goes. Until next time, folks. Hey,
When Robin was born, that's how they named him. I guess Robin.
yeah, I guess that works. We'll catch you next time on the Brick
That's
City
actually
Blockade
what happens.
podcast. Enough about my coming to this world. You guys
True
catch
story.
us on the next episode. We'll see you soon. And hey, may the force be with you for life and for life. We'll catch you on the next review. See you soon. And let's go out with a Kiati party.